Yeah, definitely. And, a pretty traditional comp, I would say, to an extent, coming out from Team 6-7. I look to say, I want to point out Bloodhound, who struggled a good deal in that first map on Harbor, but that's not necessarily a comfort agent for them. This Omen, that's his comfort pick. We've
Yeah.
seen it before. We've seen the Omen on Bind in particular just absolutely dominate here. So perhaps smelling a bit of blood in the water from Bloodhound, I think he could end up
100%.
being the high impact player.
Yeah, 100%. I think that we really need Bloodhound to kind of heat up coming into this map today. They are down a map in the series already, so it is definitely a little bit scary. If you're the team of 6-7, you're starting on this attack side, right? So you're gonna have to get that early lead that we were talking about. You're gonna have to build that momentum early, or else this is gonna be a hard series for you.
Most definitely, and it looks like the min-max, or excuse me, yes, Team 6-7 is going to be on the attack here, so
Yes.
they are, looks like, going to be grouping towards this A default, just leaving the chamber to alert towards B. I mean, this is a pretty common default from them, and I think Zevsep, perhaps on a comfort pick of Reyna, we talked about it beforehand, how they are a duelist player that was playing maybe some more support roles, but you see Koru found a lot of value through the smoke early into that round. 2 dinks, I believe. 2 of these players brought down to 1 HP.
Yeah, and both of the duelists, I think it will be interesting to note that it's both of the duelists here that are going to be on that lower HP. So there's people that you're expecting to make that space for you, may not be able to get onto site and just get one tap before they even get there. Both of them dink through the smoke, and it looks like that aggression short has kind of made them think, okay, maybe we should kind of find a little bit of space over here on the B side. Maybe A is not the answer for us, but if you look at this defensive side, I mean, they seem to think that it is just going to be a full B slam, completely leaving the site. We're going to see this Omen walk up, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a TP over here to the A site, given how much space he has.
Bloodhound finds the opener.
With that pick, that TP's going to come through with the second Omen TP into heaven, that reposition from Bloodhound. We talked about how we want to see more out of this player, and he's definitely going to try to show us that in this round. But, oh my god, this team's going to come and punish him. He's going to get a second go, but finally get traded.
Plant's going to come down. 2 of these players for the min-maxers are very low HP. We've seen this before, the 4v2 getting out of hand. Zevsep going to get shut down by 10K. A great shot out there. Weekday tagged up a little bit as well, going to be forced back here. So 3v3 into this post-plant now. And Weekday does find the shot into heaven onto the sky there, but 10K ringing out with his own to trade Oats out.
And Raze is still low in this 2v2. So is Cypher. There's that low player that we see being taken out 2v1 now. Bring back to a 1v1 from Wilkes. 10K with this deagle. Wilkes is not biting this tap.
So
10K doesn't really know where he is. Finally, this close smoke comes through. We're going to get at least half.
Gonna be blinded out. The full stick is coming in, but the right click in time from Wilkes. He's gonna close out that pistol. A very important round for the 6-7 to get on the board. I mean, a great job by Bloodhound there, who was not very much of an impact player in this last map. Very impactful into this round here so far. I mean, he did a great job lurking up all the way onto the A. That, I believe what happened there, the Sky Flash went through the teleport and pinged information, and it just drew everybody to rotate. They believed that all the players grouping towards B, but Bloodhound sneaking up and finding that early entry just opened up the A bomb site for them.
Yeah, 100%. I think that was a good call for him to go lurk up, and great to get that first pick onto the thing. And good pistol round, same thing that we kind of saw from 6-7 in the last game.
Close.
Yeah, this guy bought a Bucky again. We saw Koru bring the Bucky out a couple times yesterday. Not going to be able to get anything with it this time, bringing that 5v3 for 6-7.
Yeah, the Skyblind does find a couple players. Toro does find one. Finds a second great shot out onto Wilkes. That's going to drop the bomb. And a third there from Toro onto Weekday as well. 1 for 1, 4 on the round. On for the ace is Toro. And Oats is just alone on the other side of the map. The bomb is down. Oh my goodness, what a round out from Toro thus far. It doesn't mean it's over quite yet, though. We've seen it time and time again, especially from the min-maxers just overheating into oblivion. Oats, though, snuck all the way through this B bomb site. You wonder if she's going to be noted. I do see that the Cypher Crayons are yummy, pushing up pretty far forward into this space. Doesn't spot anything quite yet. You wonder if the token will drop for Toro. It doesn't seem like it has happened quite yet. Oats sneaking up into U-Haul. Doesn't know where any of these players are thus far. So even if she does find the player in short, Toro is going to be posted.
They're going to be able to see this Cypher sitting here with the shorty just not looking at anything else. Yeah, completely unaware their crayons are yummy.
But doesn't know where Toro is.
No, doesn't know where Toro is, and Toro's definitely on a heater. Looks like they think that
he's
they
sneaking
push
up
short.
close. And an
ace already here for min-maxers. We're already seeing an ace out. We talked about how Toro played Sky yesterday, had a great map. We said that they're a really, really good support player. And now we see they're bringing that Deagle into this round and getting 5 for it.
I mean, unbelievable, right? The Sky Flash was just fantastic out there. The early pick did go the way of 6-7, so they tried to speed up, but look at these shots out from Toro, just ripping heads off, finds it onto Weekday as well, and then just able to close out the round in that 1v1. I mean, just a fantastic eco round. It's going to force 6-7 back down to an eco, and that early start that they were looking for, perhaps not panning out.
Yeah, and you could see that there was kind of some false info there from Cypher sitting short. Oates assumed that his teammate was pushed up short with him, so thought that she could get a free plant backside. But now coming into this round, they're on him with a bit more of an eco. Zepsep gonna say, you're not the only one that can use the Deagle. Unfortunately, Bloodhound TPing into nowhere. Go back home, responding with another one. Toro getting his second on the round. Zepsep really trying to pull this round back from the brink. Gets 2, but Toro says, okay, we know who the king of the Deagle is here. Comes in with the trade, leaves Wilts in a 1v3, gets 1, but
no bullets!
Gets sprayed down with the Vandal. And couple nice Deagle shots coming in from both team here. Good idea from 6-7. They're on that eco. They only have some stingers. They only have some Deagles. Let's try to go push through. Just try to group up in showers, get that bomb plant down. They got it down for the fade, worked some of those fade orbs up, and they were able to take a couple guns, 3 kills away from min-maxers, but were not able to pull the round off. But when you are on the eco, you're kind of happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can't ask for too much more from Team 6-7, so they're going to be able to purchase all the way back up onto rifles. Koru is going to get purchased from Go Back Home, so the buy coming out from the min-maxers is not the best into this 4th round here, so we could be seeing an interesting buy up here. I wonder how much that will come to play here, but it looks like just a classic B split early on in this round.
Yeah, 100%. Looks like we're just going to do this 3-2 B hit like we have seen in the past. I mean, this is a Bind Classic. They are going to be hitting into this Cypher site, and we know that Toro loves to play these backside angles. Throw a Sky Flash from Tube as this, and there it is. There's that Sky Flash coming through. He's going to swing with it, not going to be able to get, and he does get nated down. These duelists are popping off on site, and somehow in some massive brawl, we're seeing this a 1v3, but Koru's going to get a lucky one through the smoke, bring it into a 1v2, and look at this immediate reposition. Full knife out. He might have pretty good timing. I think this Fatal is going to give them false info that he went and repositioned to long with the time that he's taking. I don't think that these players will expect him to come from CT.
Oh, a smart chamber trip out from Oates.
Chamber trip to cover all your angles there. Very heads up from Oates. I kind of think he actually is CT, so this is a good read. But
great shot with the Royce rocket! The shot is good on the Wills!
Koru! That was a 1v3. Able to get that 1v2 onto site at the end, but his team was completely demolished on site. But Koru does not care. We talked about how this guy leads the charge for his team, and he's being that steady hands in the clutch as well, absolutely saving that round for min-maxers, and nice shots out of him.
Yeah, I mean, just unbelievable. We've seen it time and time again, these individual plays out from the min-maxers that are just pulling these rounds away from 6-7. I mean, it looked like one of those rounds where they had cleaned up so nicely, the entry XX going their way, all of the trades going their way, but still somehow pulling it across the line. It's going to reset the economy of 6-7, but they just want to force up into this round anyway with the Chamber Ultimate. They feel like they can make this round happen. They're going to play a pretty slow early default, just trying to work some picks, I believe. Let Oates try and create some of the space, but look how close up 10K has gotten already.
Yeah.
Not going to be noted yet by Oates.
Yeah, and this is a good angle to take if you take it as fast as he did. I don't believe that Oates can hear him if he does it right with the steps and with the shifts. You can see she's still kind of holding that. It's going to be really disciplined for her to clear this. But look at these short players from the attack side. They're worked up pretty aggressively, and they do catch Koru out in the open with his pants down. Froggy's going to throw, and they get the
rotate. Take the timing.
He does. But it's kind of a bit of a consolation because now 6-7 has this full B site, but Zepsep is going to keep pushing, and we're going to see another push in response, but Bloodhound is also there. Zepsep was not alone. He brought a teammate. Toro did not see that coming. Now we're left in another man disadvantage for min-maxers. We saw this team win these clutches in the past, but this one might be just a little bit too hard.
Yeah, I mean, Bloodhound positioned pretty well into elbow here. The smoke gonna come in here as the players begin to flood out towards backside, so Bloodhound gonna miss the timing there. The shot from Go Back Home is clean onto Weekday there. 2v2 now, the bomb kind of planted for elbow. The stick is coming in, the shots are gonna go wide. And the shorty out gonna find it onto Bloodhound, and another round in which min-maxers do not have the player advantage, somehow making it happen. The trades just going their way, and 6-7, they just can't position well enough in these post plans to close the rounds out.
6-7 is kind of gonna let these rounds slip 7 away from them because they just cannot set these crossfires up correctly. I mean, that double push elbow, we had Omen Blind still. We did throw it, but it didn't hit anyone because of the awkward angle from CT, and it was just the timing was a little bit off, and min-maxers are good enough to take advantage of those small mistakes against some of these players, right? And it's just really coming down to these post plans. Look at the timeline. We have 3 straight defuses in a row, and this is what we said. If 6-7 can't get off to a hot start, how is this team really going to look against these min-maxers?
Yeah, I mean, they continue to force up and buy into these rounds. Another force buy, a Judge out from Weekday. He is going to spot the player close left off the dog. The Judge is going to find the opener. He's going to satchel forward and look for another. Finds a second on the Go Back Home. The Clover is not coming out, so the weaponry upgrade collected.
But look at this 10K. He's already pushed behind me. He pushed all the way through showers. Wilkes is completely unaware. But Weekday's going to have to do more, but he's not going to be able to do it. 10K going to take his head off, pop these knives, and now we see, oh, he's going to be left in a 1 versus 3 though, whips the knives, and Zep takes him out.
Yeah, I mean, 10K tried to do his best to have some impact on the round, but while all the chaos was happening, Bloodhound TP'd up close to the Heaven Smoke, found the player in rotation towards Heaven, and then found another onto Crayons Are Yummy in CT, and really it just made it undoable for 10K, who had to hit all of the shots, no margin for error, and this time he wasn't able to get the job done.
Yeah, 100%. I think that these sight hits onto A, we have seen Toru now 2 rounds get caught out in the open of this A site. Yes, he did get double satchel on, but it's just a little, he seems like to be caught in these awkward positions, kind of like where the bomb is planted, close around that box, where he's not really able to have like a good position. He's getting hit with this util, he's getting jumped on, and it's really just that first death that kind of cracks open the min-maxer site. And now they're pushed onto the second round.
Great shot out from 10K. See you later, Zevsep. Better luck next time.
That's a good person to kill too, because Zevsep has been so strong for the side of 6-7.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and we see it's a weaker weaponry from the min-maxers. These rounds have been so close, so despite the fact that they had rung out 3 in a row, it just wasn't enough to build up an economy. So Spectres and Deagles out from them, so it's important that they find that early first pick. But look, Bloodhound is TP'd in again and finds the kill onto Toro. Oh my goodness, it's going to completely open up the B bomb site as the Cypher is the only player anywhere nearby. Bloodhound continues to push forward for more, finds a second onto the round, and now a 4v3 after that early first blood. It's going to be the bomb plant now. 4v3 setup, a high-low setup as Bloodhound finds a third on the round. The Clover coming through the swing through, Bloodhound with a 4th on the round. Wilkes shuts down the Clover as Go Back Home. The last player, I don't know if he's been noted. He perhaps been spotted in hookah because the smoke and the dog coming down now. Just a Deagle out for 10K. Both players grouping up towards backside here.
Omen Blind still for the drop. This is a hard round to win, especially with the Deagle. We're going to get that drop out. We're going to make that first contact. The Omen Blind not even going to come through. We're just going to see a swing. Wilkes is going to get their second on the round. Bloodhound with 4. We said we needed this player to heat up. We knew that their main is Omen. We thought they looked a little bit awkward on that harbor. He's put back onto the Omen roll, and he has just been electric so far with these lurk ups. That timing into elbow with the TP, the lurk back sight on the pistol round on A, and he has honestly cracked a lot of these rounds open and given a lot of opportunities for 6-7.
And you know, he found 4 kills in that round, excuse me. That's how many he had in the entirety of map 1. So already in just these 6 short rounds, finding more impact thus far than he did in map number 1, and looks to continue to do so as now 6-7 have strung a couple rounds together now and do find the opener onto Showers, shutting down 10K, who's been the big impact player thus far in the map.
Yeah, and you don't really see that often, and 6-7 is going to get that first pick, and Toru said, I can't get any kills with the rifle, I'm bringing the Bucky out. Froggy's going to pop the ult that clove smoke that was on site. Double satchel into Heaven. Toru did see him. Toru's going to have to hit this one dig, and everyone's scraping around, and I don't know what's happening. He just body shots him down. This fatal is going to be ripped out in this 3v3. They're not going to try to lose this round. Bloodhound on top of the box. We have a classic and a Bucky over here. He's trying to TP somewhere. He's bringing util out. We've been seeing body spams with the Deagle and the classic this round. Somehow 6-7 into a 2v3, but still I don't think that that min-maxers have that many guns, so it's still kind of doable. Koru's going to try to take that first fight. Very awkward position for Wilkes. He's going to be able to get one. Koru gets his third on the round. Wilkes left in a 1 versus 2. 1 HP on both players. Brings the dog out, but peeks the corner with the dog.
Oh my god, 14 HP left for Koru. He finds the headshot, and there's gonna be enough time for this defuse. And despite the completely low weaponry and the first pick going against them, we see the Thrifty come out. I mean, I just can't. I mean, these shots from Weekday are just completely wide. Bloodhound not able to find anything on top of Triple for some reason, and I think honestly, perhaps a little overconfident against these weaker guns, feeling like they can take some fights that maybe they shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then in that 1v1, Koru played it extremely well. He mated the other side of Triple, the right side, and then held the left. So kind of that fade, Wilkes had to peek one of those angles with that nade coming through. So extremely well played in the 1v1 for Koru. We see him 11-6, and he does have that raise rocket. Coming into this round, 5-3 for min-maxers. We thought we could see a little bit of momentum built up for 6-7 with this eco, but min-maxers just take that round right back.
And as we see the early stages of this round, just a bit of contact up towards B-Long, maybe trying to draw some rotates so that Bloodhound and Weekday can find some impact early on here.
And it's looking like it might be a 3-man hit on the site. It's just a 3v3 onto B here. Omen is finally getting those smokes down coming over. Chambers walked out into a weird cubby, no TP up. So this is kind of an awkward position. We finally get that smoke to come out, but Toru doesn't care about the smoke. He's going to shoot through all of it. Killed 2 players through that smoke, or at least through the corner of it. I'm not exactly sure where he started on, and the rest of the team is kind of falling apart. Bloodhound wins 1 fight. 10K gonna free fire his feet through the wall. And Toru, we talked about that Sky on Vine. He's able to get 2 easy kills into that round. Yes, it was an eco, but it kind of looked like, I'm sorry to say it, but 6-7 was a little bit lost coming into that round. They didn't really know if they wanted to hit B. They only had 3 players, but they pop flashed out and pushed out, and then we're stuck in this awkward position where they're out long but not on site yet and just got dismantled.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. I was a little curious to see what Bloodhound was trying to cook up with that Omen smoke. I think communicating to some of the players that they can maybe cross into it, but then as they try to swing out, Toro found 2 as they tried to cross out. So that's going to be a 6th round on the board for the min-maxers.
Yeah, and definitely a little bit sloppy there from 6-7. Looks like they want to forget about it, go back to the B, or go back to A, go back to the slate, go back home in this corner. O's going to be able to get that entry frag. 10K also falls on site. Koru responding from heaven with 2. Does get traded, and I mean, you're going to hear me say it, another man advantage. Plant. Site take 4-6-7. We're seeing these B anchors finally rotating in towards this A site, but I'm not sure how you really crack this open. You do have Sky util, but you're kind of stuck in heaven. You need to win a bit of a gunfight here.
Yeah, shots just being kind of traded back and forth. Some positions have been noted now by the min-maxers, so they know where 2 out of the 3 players are. But Oaks in this off angle, not going to be considered a U-Haul. It's going to put Toro in a 1v3, and perhaps this one is just too undoable for him. He does find the first shot onto Zep, but is going to be put down. Oats ringing out with 3 on this round. She had been kind of quiet thus far in the map, so it's good to see her hopefully build some confidence onto that chamber. And, you know, 4 rounds here on the attack. Not so terrible from 6-7.
No, not so bad so far. Oats was able to get that entry frag on the site. You don't see Chamber getting that entry a lot of the time, but she was able to push forward, kill that Clove, take that first player out on site. Now I feel like, okay, yes, 6-7 does have 4 rounds, but I still feel like the min-maxers are kind of like, they're kind of helping to set this pace. 10K's still fighting for space. He's still fighting for short. He's fighting for showers. They haven't lost confidence at all. We normally see him get that pick, but he's not able to get it this time. 6-7, apparently their bread and butter is slamming A, because it looks like they want to do another 3-2 here. Flooding out of short.
Right through the smoke. See you later.
Koru wants his ult on short. Kills another one trying to flood out. These shower players are trying to get out desperately. They're able to make it out. These players backside are 1 HP, but Koru doesn't matter how much HP he has. He's still just going to headshot you. Switch.
I mean, great shots out from Koru. It's going to leave Oats alone in a 1v5 with it all to do. Hoping maybe just to find a couple of exits at this point, but 10K is going to say no thanks. A flawless round, a complete denial of the A-bomb site. And I mean, it all started off the back of that first shot from 10K onto Bloodhound. Denied the smokes, denied the entry, and then these shots out from Koru from backside, despite being fataled and tagged up to 1 HP, was still able to find 3 on that round.
Yeah, he pulled his ult out, killed 1, and still heads out the last 2 players coming out of shower.
17-7, by the way.
Yeah, I really want to highlight Koru. because yesterday we saw him play Whaley on this map, we saw him play Harbor, and now he's on Raze. So this guy can really play a lot of different agents. We've seen good performances on all 3 of them out of him. So he's just really been such a solid player for the min-maxers.
And he continues to press forward. 10K does. He finds the opener onto Weekday again. That's going to be the Jet Knives here. He's looking potentially to play this off angle, looking for more. Blue does find one meanwhile onto Zepsept in short. Finally, the dog comes off to force 10K back away. So they do have the showers control, but at a steep cost.
Yeah, they were able to kind of work some of that space back, but look at how 10K's coming back.
One enemy remaining.
Pushing back on the shower space. Updraft dash, another right click here onto Wilkes. He did lose the space, but he was able to come back out and keep pushing and retake it.
Yeah, I mean, 8-4, that's not the half that you're looking for if you are the team of 6-7. I mean, they needed more than 4 rounds, I think, to set the tone early onto this map. We've seen how aggressive the team of min-maxers have been on their attack, and I mean, they're going to carry that momentum forward. They're feeling confident. They won 8 rounds on defense, and now they get to play their bread and butter. This double duelist who have been just lighting up the scoreboard, 18-7, 14-8, respectively. I'd like to see a little bit more out of Zepsept. We've seen that the Reyna's been a comfort pick, but only 6-11 thus far.
Yeah. And we really were looking for Zepsept to kind of heat up into this match. We saw an amazing first map out of him, and he was kind of a lot of the reason that they were winning some of those rounds early in the game. So now that he's off to a slower start, 6-7 is off to a slower start alongside of him.
Oats looking for an early pick, not going to be able to find it. 10K lurking up towards showers, finds the backstab timing as both of the players looked away, finds both of the kills onto Weekday and Zepsept. I mean, that timing was just fantastic out from him. Oats does find the trade, but going to be taken down by Koru, and now it's a 2v4.
One enemy remaining.
Koru pushing forward, finds it onto Bloodhound, and Wilkes is left dazed and confused. 4v1 now. Otherwise, this pistol going to go the way of min-maxers.
Yeah, and this really did feel like a must-win round for 6-7. It felt like they really had to kind of come out here swinging onto the pistol round. We saw that they were a little bit stronger with their pistol rounds. Historically, they won that first one on Abyss. They won this first one on this map, but it's not going to be that same story again coming to this defensive side. 10K once again lighting up the scoreboard. No matter what side this guy's on, if you go showers against him, you will die.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I all of that short presence. You know, I believe Oats probably communicating as the smokes were coming down drew the attention of both of the shower players, and that's the exact moment that 10K chose to take the swing. Great he had timing. Walked up close. I mean, just fantastically played there, and just a completely clean pistol round out from the min-maxers. We're going to look to convert here, and I think... Yes, 6-7 is going to force in. They feel the pressure. They're down a map. They're down in this map number 2, facing elimination. They know they need to make something happen right now.
Yeah, 100%. They know this is really kind of a must-win round. You kind of have to fight to get this momentum back. It looks like they're going to make the right decision. Full hit up through long.
Look at the Bucky coming out. He's not going to find anything there. I believe he got dogged off. Crayons or Yummy cleans it up. The plant's going to come down. It's a 5v4 now. All of these players, it looks like the sides have flipped. The attackers are now the defenders.
Jumped into Hookah and full spraying with the Spectre. And now all these players are kind of stuck in the
One enemy
finds 2, but Toro cleans it up.
Get all 3 of those long players.
Snappy there from Toro. I'd love to see that in the replay here, I believe. I mean, those Vandal headshots coming out, cleaning up the round, it got a little hairy, but just for a second.
I was so confused. I was like, you heard me stop talking. Like, I saw Bud, I'm just hopping around with the Bucky. I was like, how is this guy alive on site right now? But it was an interesting idea. I mean, they thought that they had to kind of make a play happen. You saw all of them pushing up short. You saw them do a 4-1, a gamble. It was not the right gamble. All of min-maxers weren't always be long, so kind of failed there. And now, what do you do if you're this team? I mean, we see Zepsept has a deal full armor. Not going to have enough in the next round.
Oh, big short push coming out again.
Yeah, they run in a short push back. Froggy's going to get that first pick. Oh my God, everyone is here from the defensive squad. They're really trying to take the fight to them with these lower weapons. In case on the right side. Gets a lot of damage on the in the corner. 1 HP, not able to get anything. Back over here.
He finds 1.
Oh, he got no bullet.
He got 2 somehow. Toro had to pull his weapon back out somehow. Bloodhound finds 2, but cleaned up very nicely. That's going to be an 11th round on the board. I mean, and yeah, like you said, everyone was there looking a bit like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate there. Everybody taking the fights in a short, but all of these kills just seem to go the way of min-maxers. And despite the fact that Bloodhound did find 1 with the classic there, perhaps a little bit of BM coming out from Crayons or Yummy pulling out the knife. Yeah. It's 2 more rounds for min-maxers to pull it across and to make an appearance in the grand finals.
Yeah, it's really hard for 6-7 to come back from this. We talked about how going on to this bind map, min-maxers have looked so strong against 6-7. If I'm Aura Farmers, Farmers in the next series, I would not want to pick this map against them. They're looking really, really strong. Toru again going to have that first entry. Bloodhound going to get a trade. Toru's going to answer back. Zepsep does take that TP, looking at a 3v3. Kind of flip the map again. 10K's dashing around. We're going to be able to get a plant off, but go back home, gets sprayed through that smoke. And now it's going to be a little bit hard. The players are already jumping out. Zepsep gets one. 10K in the 1v3. He's going to get the first one. He knows where both the players are. He doesn't know where to look, though. He's trying to smoke the ground and trying to hide in it from some of these shots, but he does end up falling to Froggy. So good round. 6 for 6-7. Definitely a must-win round for this team. I mean, when the other team is at 11, it's going to be hard to get any string of rounds. You lose one round, and now they're on match point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's no margin for error, but we've seen before these players, Weekday and Bloodhound, were part of a big comeback on Bind in the previous iteration in the Norabora Invitational, on their way to become eventual champions. So if there's any team that I would have belief that could do it, it would be 6-7. You know, they're slowly clawing their way back into this map. They need to just kind of rip these rounds off. They do have some big ultimates, but they need to waterfall them properly, right? If they blow all of their big ultimates into one round, suddenly they won't have anything. And as the min-maxers slowly get closer and closer to their big ultimates, they can start saving them up because they have a lot more margin. They just need 2 more rounds.
100%. And that's like, oh my god, we're seeing this as you're talking about the ultimate usage. We're seeing Froggy rip their ults, does get Crayons already on for their trouble. Gonna take a second one onto Toro. What a great shot. Go back and does get him out. And it's this round is looking tough. They have this short control. But go back home with that wide swing, and we saw Jet like wrapping around, so it didn't really matter what exactly happened there. Flipping the site for it feels like the 5th time in this game. The attackers are going to be pushing into CT,
and they're spraying at each other, having a bit of fun here.
10K is trying to troll,
but the bomb was planted for sure, and both of these defending players are creeping up on this angle. So if they find the kill on the back home, which it doesn't seem like will happen, O's left alone now in this 1v3. Does find the first with the low press coming out. And we've seen Oats win in these pressure situations before, but no, Go Back Home shuts it down with a 4th on the round. Gonna drag this map to a match point. 7 opportunities to close out this match.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of hard what we were talking about with the ultimate waterfall, because you really have to use them sparingly, but at the same time, every single round matters. You know, every single round is a round that if you lose, the game is going to be over. So you want to win the round at any cost, but at the same time, not only do you have to win this round, but you have to win the next 6 in a row. And we are seeing a bit of typing in the chat. I do love that, because these players really do think they are so good, but you know, like, really they're trash. But yeah, 12 over here for the side of the min-maxers. We're seeing a bit of a tail push over here from Zepsep. He's trying to make something happen against these players that apparently aren't really that good.
I know exactly.
Oh, shut down by a shorty from Go Back Home.
Shortied in the smoke. That cycle is going to come through all these people in the field. Go Back Home knows exactly where he is. Swings out, and now Oats, this B anchor. It has not been a fun game on these retakes. Left over here, we're going to see a jump spot out.
One.
We do see a slow coming out. We're seeing some cages.
Oh, the knife kill potentially coming out. No, the white guy not finding it yet. The knife. No, and the Roomba takes it.
Attackers win.
13-5. That's going to close it out for the side of 6-7. They are going to be eliminated from the tournament here. But honestly, despite that, not the war showing out from them. They showed us some flashes in the pan. This was a very exciting first map, but it seemed like they needed to win their map pick because min-maxers, they just look too comfortable on Bind.
Yeah, 100%. They look like they definitely have this map figured out. They're playing with that confidence on this map. I mean, we're going to see the scoreboard here. Koru, 24-8, that player that we were highlighting a little bit earlier in the half. He got off to a hot start, and he kept that going into the latter half of that, into the attack rounds as well. And honestly, I mean, min-maxers do look scary despite a close Abyss taken to Bind, and it looked like a completely one-sided game.
Yeah, most definitely. And, you know, we are going to be looking at the min-maxers jumping into grand finals, and I believe it was the Aura Farmers who did take the other semifinal match. I'm still waiting on word to make sure that is going to happen. So we are just going to jump into a short break before we jump into our grand finals. Don't go anywhere. The most exciting Valorant is still to come.